Welcome to math class, where today we are learning to convert standard form to slope-intercept form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. We're converting it to y equals mx plus b. So we're going to have two methods in order to complete that task. The first method is just simply solve for y. The second method would be using the ABCs of your standard form equation to find the intercepts and the slope. Now, going back to one of my previous videos, I said when we were when we're graphing linear inequalities, there's this algebra hack that says if the coefficient of y is negative, then we're going to multiply all the terms by -1 and then flip the sign. Okay. So for example, if I have negative y is equal to x, then we're going to multiply everything by -1 and it ends up flipping the sign. So -1 times -y is just simply y. -1 times the x is -x. Okay, but then the equal sign, we would flip it, but it's still an equal sign. So what do you do then if it's a inequality sign? If it's an inequality sign, such as greater than, the negative will cause the greater than to flip to be less than. So anything when you're multiplying or dividing by a negative, multiplying or dividing by negative will cause the sign to flip. So using that method here, let's solve for y. Let's do the first method. 7x minus 5y equals 35. So the first thing I see here is I have a negative in front of my y. So let's go ahead and change all of the signs. So we're going to rewrite this as, or multiply everything by -1 here. So we're going to go -1 times everything, just causes it to become -7x plus 5y equals is flipped to equals -35. Okay, now let's do the math. We're going to move our 7x term by adding 7x to both sides. So this zeroes out. We're left with 5y equals -35 plus 7x. The next step is to then divide by 5. Divide everything by 5. And reduce your fractions where possible. So we're going to be left with y equals, we're going to move the 7x term first. 7 over 5 is just 7 over 5. X plus a -35 divided by 5, which is -7. So this is slope-intercept form. If this had been a greater than or equal to sign, then I would have flipped the sign. Method 2, using your ABCs. So the ABCs goes this way. Your A is always beside the X, the B is beside the Y, the C is constant by itself. So in this problem here, our B is -4, our A is -6, and our C is 20. To find your x-intercept, which we won't need in order to convert to slope-intercept, but it's still good practice to find it, is we take C over A. To find the y-intercept, we're going to take C over B. And to find the slope, we're going to do the opposite of whatever A is. So we're going to change the sign. If it's positive, it becomes negative. If it's negative, it becomes positive. And we're going to put it over B. Okay, so the x-intercept is C over A, 20 over -6. 20 over -6 is going to reduce to -10 over 3. So the x-intercept is -10 over 3, 0. The y-intercept is what we need in order to write the actual function. So the y-intercept is going to be C over B. So 20 over -4. 20 divided by -4 is -5. So this gives us a y-intercept point of 0, -5. Finally, the slope is what we're going to need as well. So we're going to take the opposite of A. A is -6, so the opposite of -6 is 6. I'm going to put it over B, which is -4. This reduces to -3 over 2. So our slope, or our equation that we're going to have, is y equals mx plus b. M is -3/2. X, our b is -5, so b minus 5. There you have it. And just to remind you, slope is m.